Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana has announced that the Director-General of Treasury, Dondo Mogajane, has decided not to extend his contract. Mogajane joined the National Treasury 23 years ago and worked in various capacities. We're joined in studio by Newsroom Africa's business editor, Xolani Mbanjwa, to talk to us more about his departure. I know a lot of people who will be quite disappointed in this news, but what do we know about his reasons for not extending his contract?
Good afternoon, Dudu. Well, just 3 weeks ago on a radio show, he did say that his contract is coming up. And when we asked to speak to him, he had said that it doesn't mean that he's actually going. It just means that the contract negotiations are up when it comes to June. What we know right now is that indeed he has not, as announced by Enoch Godongwana, he has not renewed his contract, as he will be seeking opportunities outside of the public service. As you said, he's been there for 23 years, so there is going to be, that those questions that are asked about stability when it comes to National Treasury. But when it comes to him right now, he is still there until the 7th of June. So many people would see that as giving more, the National Treasury and the Minister having more time to look for a suitable candidate. This is a very important position, and that's why we're speaking about it today, because he is the accounting officer of the National Treasury. He has to account to a lot of people and make sure that the revenue that SARS receives is spent wisely. Make sure that when we go into the international finance institutions to borrow money as a country, we are not increasing our debt levels so high that we are not going to be able to maintain those standards. During his tenure, not of his own doing, of course, South Africa was downgraded, and that was due to COVID-19. So in the past 5 years since he took over the position of DG, it's been a very tumultuous time, and he is seen as someone who has held things together.
And that's just it. Maybe let's expand on it. I mean, this is the person that wrote an article about the country running the risk of being another failed state. How would you characterize his tenure, and whether there'll be any reaction or anticipating reaction from the markets?
The markets will be quite worried, because this is institutional memory, someone they trust or they've grown to trust over the years, someone who took over as a DG at a very difficult time when his predecessor, who was also at National Treasury for 17 years, and that is Lungisa Fuzile, left in 2017. He came and did the right thing and took over as DG. A very difficult time at the time. If you remember, there was that time when new people took over. I think Des van Rooyen, there was a lot of instability during those couple of days that they were in that particular office, and his appointment reassured the market. Now, it's going to be quite difficult to actually reassure the market, and I say this for the National Treasury and the Minister, because currently in the National Treasury, out of the 10 executives that are there are actually 4 positions that are still, vacant when it comes to acting capacity. You still have acting heads. That is economic policy. That is the office of the, I think it's the Chief Procurement Officer, the Office of the Accountant General, the head, and the Economic Policy head. They are all acting. Many people even say this is Hollywood over there, because they are so acting. There's no stability. If this position is not filled between now and the 7th of June when he leaves, that would make 5 acting heads, and it's not something that is good. A lot of people have been talking about how not to run a government department is to have so many acting heads, people who feel that they are not settled where they are. So there's still not too much time to actually replace him. Yes, he is leaving. Now it's about replacing the person with another person who is trusted by the market, who's going to be acceptable, and not have that concern of yet another acting executive in one of the most important departments in the country.
And this is why succession planning is so important. Xolani, Mbanjwa, sir, thank you very much for that.